Here we go again. It's another episode of the Outlaw College Football, and this is a live stream. And this is where the Outlaw Posse comes to play. and is the coaching carousel ever going to stop going round and round and round and round? Shit. Now, Jim Harbaugh has quit and moved on to another job in the NFL with the Los Angeles Chargers from reports that I'm getting from Yahoo Sports. Now, the man could change his mind and stay at Michigan. You never know what you're getting with Jim Harbaugh. He says some of the weirdest shit. He's had these little ass clown satellite camps that he used to have in Iceland and Botswana and the backwoods of Romania and Turkestan. But those days are over, according to the reports. Like I said, from Yahoo Sports, he is going to be taking a job with the LA Chargers. Now, I've done a podcast earlier with one of my podcast partners, Jonathan Lewis, on this very subject. And he said something about Harbaugh was going back to Los Angeles, and I didn't really correct that. I should have corrected that. He's not really going back to Los Angeles. He is going back to the state of California. But as you know, last time he coached in San Francisco. But give or take, those two cities are about the same. They both got that skittle shitting mentality that we all love to make fun of, right? And already in the house, we have Thunder OU Sooner, as always. I also asked you guys in the comments here before the show, what could make the show better? Because we've been lagging a little bit on people subscribing to the channel and whatnot. We hit a big spurt there, but then it's just slowed down to a creep and crawl. And a lot of people will blame it on the off season, but I don't think it's that, because last off season I actually was doing pretty good as far as subscriber rate. Right now we're right at 4,400, and I'd like to get to 5,000. 5,000 is a big milestone. It's a number that the YouTube algorithm really, from what I understand, catches on to. If you get 5,000 subscribers, then they really start pushing you hard, and things start to really blossom from that point. So we can just get 600 more subscribers up in this bitch, then we'll be all right. Apologize for the cuss words. I've had some complaints about the some of the expletives that we're using in here, so I'm going to try to scale back on that just to, be fair to everybody. I may say an occasional PG-13 cuss words, but as far as the big ones, the F-bombs, the MF, GD, and all that other vulgar stuff, we're going to try to cut some of that out. Mary Caroline's also in the house. She says she likes the interaction that we get to have on the live streams. I appreciate that, Mary Caroline. Oh, sweet Caroline. Eric Taco Marino's in the house. He has his badge. We'll see people in here with their badges. That's because they're in the Outlaw Posse. You can like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe is free, but there's also a join button next to subscribe button. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week, just a half a bottle of water. You get your badge, you get deputized. You'll possibly be one of the random Four Horsemen shout-outs, as you'll see down at the bottom of the screen here from the last show. I haven't changed them out yet, but I will for the next podcast. You'll get a random Four Horsemen shout-out, get your badge, get deputized, and possibly be the comment of the day. Russ Neese is in the house. Says, keep showing up. You'll be fine. Appreciate that, Russ. Haven't seen Robert Walger in a while. Robert Walger, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your last name right, brother. I can never respond to you on YouTube. For some reason, they have your channel blocked from getting responses. I can like and heart it, but not as much. You are the man of truth and responsibility. Don't ever jeopardize that for people's shortcomings. Appreciate that, Robert. But today's topics, as you know, pretty Captain Obvious. Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan for the LA Chargers. Now we're going to have to decide who's going to be their head coaching candidates, and they're going to have the portal up from their ass now. They say it's all fun and games, and everybody hee-haws it up when it happens to someone else's team, like Alabama's haters have done, and like Oklahoma's haters did 2 years ago. But it's not as funny when it happens to your team. And if Michigan ends up going after Brian Kelly, which is one of the rumors, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, that's going to open up the transfer portal on LSU's ass. Because right now it just feels like Alabama, my team's all alone. We're getting portal raped. I mean, we just got portal raped this year. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm doing my monologue glory. I have to look at everything here. But I said something to you earlier. Don't be a drama queen on me now. John Ritchie's in the house. What's up, JPC? John Ritchie is a pretty good old boy, too. He former football player. Might even have John Ritchie on my show here pretty soon. He's a big Oklahoma Sooner fan. We're also going to talk about Oklahoma's recruiting news. Oklahoma continues to percolate up sort of quietly right now with all this coaching stuff going on, man. Can y'all realize the great coaches that we've lost this year, not just college, but NFL as well? Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher. Yeah, I know he's not great. That's a frog amongst kings. That's what Jimbo Fisher. He's a frog amongst kings in that mention right there. It's like in class where you're like, which one doesn't fit, class? That's the frog. But, yeah. And now Jim Harbaugh and possibly Brian Kelly moving to Michigan. Y'all see that happening? I think that Jim Harbaugh didn't do Michigan any favors by dragging his feet, in my opinion. He could have done this sooner, I think. Give him about a week after the national title game, and I think he should have had his shit together and decided whether he wanted to stay or not. Sort of like Nick Saban did. Nick Saban didn't retire at a very opportune time either, but it wasn't like this. Now, basically, what Jim Harbaugh has done to Michigan University, or the University of Michigan, whichever one they want to say it, however they want to say it, he's basically put them in a lurch to the point where they're probably going to have to stay in-house and hire Chiron Moore, or, as I said before, the defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter. Now, a lot of people keep saying it's going to be Chiron, it's going to be Chiron, it's going to be Chiron. Look at Chiron out there crying. He loves the team so much. I love you, man. I love you. I love you, Jim Harbaugh. That right there was the biggest oversell I've ever seen in my entire existence of watching college football or pro football or any sports. I understand you're going to cry sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that nobody should ever cry and get emotional after a game. That's going to happen. But there's a difference in crying and having a mental breakdown and acting like a complete and utter spastic and selling out to try to get a job. And that's all Chiron did with that little crying incident, in my opinion. I know he's an Oklahoma guy, and there's some of you Oklahoma people in here that probably take offense to that, but that was a little over the top, a little overkill. All that was Chiron Moore placating for the job, auditioning for the job. And in my opinion, if you're going to stay in-house, I think it should be Jesse Minter. Michigan's defense has been the staple to me that put Michigan where they are today. Without those defenses, Michigan doesn't win a national championship. Their offenses aren't that great. So I don't understand what the whole up Chiron Moore's ass thing is all about, man. I don't get it. Unless they're going out of the way to make sure, and I know this is a touchy subject, but they may be wanting to make sure that they finally hire a minority candidate at Michigan. Because I don't think Michigan's ever had a head football coach that was a minority. So they may be going for that angle, which is fine. But at the same time, I'm a believer in that you should get hired on your merits, not whatever token or whatever quota that they're trying to meet. And I hope that's not the case with Chiron, because he seems like a good guy. He seems like he probably could be a good head coach one day. I just don't think this is the time for Chiron. And I don't think that he's the best candidate on that staff. I think Jesse Minter is. Teakin says, I thought maybe Lincoln Riley would get the Chargers job. I guess they need a bigger snake. Jim was their man. Lincoln Riley, Teakin, to me, basically shot himself in the foot with this completely skittle shitting of the bed. By the way, I have my store up. Me and Jonathan ironed that out. We got our store up. And If you'll check it out, I think you just go into the browse store option. If you're on your phone, you may have to go to your laptop or your computer in order to see it. But we do have a store up. Got Skittle Shitter shirts. Don't be a Skittle Shitter. And we also have some Outlaw of College Football stuff, as well as We Bleed Crimson shirts as well that you guys and gals may like. I'm going to try to go in there and probably tweak some of those prices to make it a little more affordable for the common Joe and the common Sallies in the know. More so than all the media talking heads. Seems like everyone is playing musical portal chairs with all the coaching changes, says Ben Belcher. I agree with that, Ben. Killer Breeze is also in the house. Killer Breeze says Harbaugh is a diva. Yes, he is. And like I said before, you'll see people, Zach Hamner's in the house as well with his badge. Both Harbaugh brothers are crybaby bitches, says Zach Hamner. Well, they may be, but if I'm not mistaken, I think, is it John Harbaugh that's the coach at the Baltimore Ravens? He's won a Super Bowl. Jim Harbaugh, as much as I don't like him and as quirky as his ass is, he has made it to a Super Bowl. And he didn't have a bad record in his time in the NFL. I think he's like 45-21 or something like that. I may be a little off on the numbers there. I don't have the stat in front of me. Maybe one of y'all can dig that up for me. But we got 22 people in the house right now. If y'all don't mind, jump out, smash that like button, share it out with all your friends. Get them up in here, and let's talk some college football in the offseason and get our fix tonight. As I said earlier, I was wanting some opinions from you guys out there to what I can do. What would y'all like me to see me do to make this show better? Do I need to stop doing so many live streams? Do I need to what do I need to do live streams to make them better? What should I just do podcasts? I just want to do what I can do to make this show better and make it pleasing enough for y'all to watch it and maybe share it out to your hardcore football fans out there. Now I'm going to present something here for y'all. Something that I think that is pretty funny. I got some Oklahoma recruiting news too, by the way, for all you Oklahoma fans in here. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to bring this up for y'all and play this. And y'all tell me if y'all don't think that this was him doing an Academy Award-winning job of posturing himself for the Michigan job. I absolutely think this was pretty fake to me. Them look like some straight-up crocodile tears, something that he rehearsed the night before. He even said he talked to his mama about it. That's for real. Let's see what we can do here.
On the road, in this environment, when there were doubts, Chiron, what does it mean to you?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you. For this university, the president, our AD. We got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Shout out to him, man. Love you.
Thank you, Coach.
Damn, man. Seriously, that was way over the top, man. Way over the top. Robert Walgrove, question, Outlaw, would you rather have Jim Harbaugh as your coach or the guy you got? I'd rather have Kalen DeBoer. I'm not saying that because Alabama hired him. I'm just saying it because Kalen DeBoer, to me, has a pretty high ceiling. He won 3 national championships at the NAIA level, which people try to make fun of that, but it's actually probably harder to do that at the NAIA level where you don't even have scholarship players. He had a decent record at Fresno State, went to Washington, took them from 4-8 to, I think, 12-2 his first season and into the playoffs and the national title game his second season. He also beat Texas. You had some Alabama fans talking about they didn't think that some of the recruits that he was bringing in from Washington would be able to handle the SEC. And I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm an SEC guy, but These are the guys that beat Texas, that beat our team, Alabama. So how can you say that they can't handle the SEC when they beat the team that beat us, right? Yeah, he was crying like Harbaugh just passed away. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you, Coach. This is for you. I love the shit out of you. Blah, blah, blah. F-bomb. F-bomb. That's like, man, seriously? I mean, come on now. I mean, it's one thing to get emotional and shed a few tears. I can understand. That's understandable. But this right here was probably only topped by Mary Caleb Williams' fingernails when he lost his spastic bowels over in his mama's lap earlier this year. I was going to have a guest in here tonight as well. I was going to try to get Jonathan Lewis up in here, but his ass ain't made it yet. I done a podcast with him earlier. Maybe one of y'all can hit him up and see where the hell he's at. So I don't know if he's coming or not. There he is. Finally. That damn man, you need to take your IBS medicine way before the show next time, man. I know you probably are taking a monster dump, but come on now.
Have you noticed I changed shirts? I took a shower.
You actually showered? I didn't know that.
Oh, shut up. Oh, starting already. Anyways.
I don't know if you saw the lead up on this, but I was basically grilling Chiron about his spastic meltdown right here. If you want me to play it for you again.
I mean, you can go ahead. Stephen A. Smith did a segment today grilling him as well.
Oh, yeah? What did Stephen A. Smith have to say about it?
No, he said he thought it was a weak move.
I think he was posturing for the job. That's what I think he was doing.
He said it was theatrics, is what Stephen A. Smith said. It was a weak move, and it was all theatrics, pretty much.
I can get to play.
To win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Chiron, what does it mean to you?
I'm trying not to laugh.
Thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. I love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you. For this university, the president, our AD, we got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man.
Yeah.
These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Talk to him, man. Love you.
Thank you, Coach.
Hard to watch. It's cringy.
It's real cringy.
I don't like watching it because it feels fake.
It is. You can tell it, man. It's sort of rehearsed. He even said he talked about it. Talked to it. He said, this was his words. He talked to his mama about it the night before. Talk to your mom about what? How to coach the game?
Dude, if you've been there for 6 years under Jim Harbaugh, have you not prepared for anything other than just being an offensive coordinator? Like, have you
understand. I don't understand. Like we talked about, telling we had a podcast earlier on your channel. Y'all go check it out. But I basically said that Jesse Minter is defense coordinator. The defense is really what put Michigan where they're at, right?
Slippery fingers. Yeah. Sorry, one of the comments on here. That's funny. A couple of them, actually. Let's see here. I'll bring up just the ones that see. I thought, I can't take a bath. Okay, this is gonna be weird and off the subject and completely turning up.
Can't take a bath. I'm telling you, he's too tall for that shit. They don't make baths.
No, first of all, no. In all seriousness, like,
by the way, I promised a few people that we would try not to drop the F-bomb tonight. So let's try not to.
Okay, I won't do that. All right. My thing is, like, do you feel like you can't take a bath? I feel like I can't in the right mind take a bath. Do you feel that way or no? Or is it just me? Like, it just feels wrong to take a bath.
I don't know. It almost feels Chiron more like. I mean, you feel like a little bitch getting in the bathtub.
I guess so. I don't know. I guess. But
I don't know,
yeah.
man. I mean, baths are good and soothing and whatnot, but just to me, and it's just I guess I'm being stereotypical here, but it just seems like a female thing to do.
And then the second one is you need to wash your hands or slip. I mean, they're clean. I do use lotion.
Yeah, you got that from Killer Breeze. Killer Breeze nicknamed you Slippery Fingers.
Oh, he did?
He knocked us offline that night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, everybody, for that. Yeah, it was because my car, when I log in with my car, it logs in under your account. So when I normally it just is like right now it says leave studio on my computer. It said in live stream or leave live stream or whatever. It's close live stream.
I forgot about the Herb Street meltdown.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, he basically had a meltdown too about some BLM bullshit or something, man. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was some stupid stuff.
I'm trying to like scroll through these comments. Sorry, Charger fans are celebrating Jim Harbaugh. You know, they think he's a Super Bowl winning. He was close to winning a Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick. It went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was telling them that they were talking about they're both crybabies, both Harbaugh coaches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, John's won a Super Bowl, and Jim's been to one, so they're quirky, but they must be doing something right because he had a winning record of more than over 500. I think it's 45-21 or something.
In the NFL.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh was.
It was 49-22. Jim Harbaugh's is 49-22.
John Ritchie's referring to something I said earlier. The guy was asking me would I'd rather have Kalen DeBoer or Jim Harbaugh, and I told him I'd rather have Kalen DeBoer because I feel like he has a higher ceiling. And what he done at the NAIA level may be made fun of, but they don't have full scholarship players at the NAIA level. So to me, it seemed like it would be a harder thing to coach.
I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on that because I don't know, but I don't know how that would play out. Because, you're playing against tougher competition. Jim Harbaugh is obviously. You're playing against better coaches, in my opinion. But, I think the ceiling is higher for DeBoer because he's a lot younger. Jim Harbaugh is 60 years old. He's not a young cat, right? So, not that DeBoer is really young. I think he's, 49 or something like that. So, he's 11 years younger. But I feel like DeBoer is just now coming in his own. He's almost – look, I'm not comparing the dude. But Nick Saban didn't get into the D1 level until his 40s?
Right.
So, you look at DeBoer and you look at Saban, they have a lot of the same tendencies, and they have a lot – the pathway looks the same.
Nick Saban tried to hire Ryan Grubb from Kalen DeBoer's staff, ironically, and Ryan Grubb turned him down, and now we got Ryan Grubb. I think that Nick Saban and Kalen probably had some kind of, conversation in that process. And I think Nick probably thought to himself, this guy would probably be a good guy to succeed me at the end of the year if I decide to retire. I think that conversation probably took place.
Supposedly by the second week of the season, Saban had made his mind up to retire. Or not made his mind up, but he contemplated retirement, so he was reaching out to gain interest, right? See what the interest level was. I don't know how true that was. All I know is there were people saying that he reached out his second week, and he started reaching out to more and more people, and is having a lot of conversations with a lot of people throughout the year. But another thing, a little tidbit of information to know, Ohio State really won't like this. C.J. Stroud lost to Jim Harbaugh, right, in the Big Ten championship game, and then turns around and loses to John Harbaugh in the playoffs in the NFL.
So, you think it's basically a done deal? Chiron Moore's going to be the guy because that's what I feel.
Oh yeah, it looks like for sure that's already done because they said the timing was off. It would not make sense for him to take this job without already having everything in place. Because if you look at the timing when the players started transferring or declaring for the draft, that was only a mere 2 weeks ago, right? And people said if you're going to leave Michigan, if Jim Harbaugh was going to leave Michigan and give Michigan a chance to look for a coach, it would have been right after the playoffs. Right. So in the fact that did not happen, and then to turn around and see J.J. McCarthy, who said, he sat there on national television and said, I'm coming back to Michigan, right? They said before the playoffs, I'm coming back no matter what, right? That's what he said. And then to turn around and see him declare for the draft, and then not even a week later, Jim Harbaugh says I'm leaving. Or a week and a half later says I'm leaving. It's all looks planned. The whole thing looks planned out. All those guys declaring. It happened within 3 days? And then all of a sudden, Jim Harbaugh decides to leave. No, there's no way that's all a coincidence. Not a chance.
No, it's just like with Kevin Steele stepping down in Alabama. You know, he knew what was coming.
Yeah, he's 66.
So he's like, you know what? I don't want to start over again with somebody else. And that may have been why Tommy Reeves was on the finalist list, because they was thinking along more lines that, like, Michigan's probably thinking that if they hire Chiron Moore, they won't have as massive an exodus as Alabama did.
I don't know.
If they hire Chiron Moore to be the coach, they probably won't get as many transfers out like Alabama did.
Well, look, Michigan fans may not like this. Michigan is not stacked like Alabama is when it comes to 4 and 5 stars. Alabama pre-Nick Saban retirement, 74 5 and 4 stars. We'll still have over 50, by the way, post Nick Saban right now. A lot of people have said, what? Kalen DeBoer cannot recruit the South. There's no way this dude's going to keep guys locked in that are 5 stars or top-tier talent. Ryan Williams, 5-star wide receiver who decommitted from Alabama, right, because of Nick Saban leaving, has recommitted to Alabama because of Kalen DeBoer. And Austin Mack, the quarterback who got brought into Alabama from Washington, was heavily recruiting him. These guys aren't stupid. Alabama's not going to bring in a guy off of pure potential. They know more about him than we probably would know anywhere near the amount of information.
It sure is funny you said something about that a couple of days ago about how Austin Mack was a good guy that's like an ambassador for whatever team he's playing for.
Absolutely.
So he's a pretty big old boy too. He's like 6'6".
Yeah,
so
he's 6'6".
He ain't gonna have no problem getting balls batted down the line, probably.
Yeah. So I didn't know that they were both under the tree of Washington coach Don. I did not know that.
Lewis, there's a reason why Saban and DeBoer have similar traits. They're both under the tree of coaching. Washington.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, because I thought that Kalen DeBoer he's 49, so he would have just had to basically barely caught Don James, because Don James retired a long time ago. So I'm not sure if he was under Don James or not. Now, he may have talked to Don James while he was the coach there and got some tips from Don James.
Grad assistant.
He's a legend there. He's a legend.
Maybe.
He won a national title at Washington.
But because I don't know. I mean, if it's true, I didn't know it. That's for sure.
So, if they for some reason don't go with Chiron Moore, do you think they will go after Brian Kelly? Because that's the big rumor if they decide to go outside.
Dude, that buyout is no. The buyout would not be worth it. No. It financially makes 0 sense. Look, Jaden Daniels just won the Heisman Trophy for LSU. Brian Kelly just got to LSU. Why would he leave? That makes no sense to me. It literally makes no sense. What is that?
One of our common Joes and Sally's in the know, Sally in the know, Courtney, shared this with me earlier. Oklahoma they went back, and did a complete ranking of this past year's class and got a final ranking, and it says that they've got 12 of the top 250 recruits. Oklahoma did, and what amazes me is they've offered a few other high-profile players this past week. Is that this was a team that was 6-7 not too long ago, and Brent Venables come into a gutted team, and how he continues to recruit at such a high level, and it's just under the radar where nobody sees it, especially all this stuff going on about coaches and whatnot. I just want to get your take on. I was going to get your take on how is it that Brent Venables was able to do such a great job at recruiting. I think it's that he has a lot of connections everywhere. I mean, he coached 9 years at Clemson. He's got East Coast connections out to Wazoo. And then he started, in the Midwest in Oklahoma and Texas. I think that has a lot to do with it. But, what's your take on that?
Brent Venables had a huge advantage going into that Oklahoma job. And the huge advantage was he didn't rush into anything. He came out as a defensive coordinator to be a head coach, first-time head coach, right? He's not young. Brent Venables, it's almost like somebody that networks, right? If you network long enough, you're liable to fall into a great position, right? Or be set up into a great position. When you network with enough high school head coaches in enough states, right, in enough conferences, you're liable to gain an advantage of when you get that job you want to get into. You're not going to have to scratch and claw to get into every single high school you're looking to get into to recruit, right? So, and then you bring in the staff he brought in, you know what I mean, with Levy, with Bates, by the way, who's an outstanding recruiter. Levy's a great recruiter. I mean, Ted Roof, I can't speak on him that much. I didn't know how much he recruited, to be honest with you. I didn't know much about his recruitment style or anything. But the staff he brought in, he surrounded himself. Not only did he have all the connections he needed to recruit well, he brought in people that can close the deal, close the door, right, on these recruits. So, yeah, it makes sense that he would maybe not start off with a top 3 class, obviously, but work your way into a top 10 and be consistent with us long enough to when you do get into SEC, you're going to get enough interest from these recruits to all of a sudden it's going to gain momentum. And you're probably going to end up in the top 5 every year. With him as a head coach, because he's going to know who to bring in for the recruiting. He's not dumb. He's been around long enough. He's not a 37-year-old head coach that's come in and based off of potential and with a bunch of assistants that have no faith in him. Plain and simple.
Well, maybe Michigan could go outside the box, and they're thinking, and maybe they can go after Brent Venables. His buyout's not a lot.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Hey,
Go after.
I mean, Brent Venables might look pretty good in the Wolverine attire and the the nice little 3-stripe helmet and all that good shit.
All right, you got a donation here, Outlaw. Oh, I clicked on it. My bad.
Outlaw, how do you feel Harbaugh will do at San Diego? Technically, they're in Los Angeles now, but I do the same thing. I call them the San Diego Chargers still to this day because I feel like they robbed that city of a football team. Now they got 2 teams in LA, right?
Makes no sense.
They went from 0 teams to 2 teams. And they used to have 2 teams back in the day, and they lost both of them, and then they got it back. So I don't know what it is about Los Angeles, but to me, it's a little overrated. I think he'll do fine. I mean, wherever he goes, he's won. Even at the University of San Diego. Hey, people forget that's where he started his career was with the University of San Diego, not San Diego State. San Diego, I think, is Division III program.
3.
Yeah. And then he went to San Francisco and he won there with Colin Kaepernick on his team. Hell, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, for real.
And then he made it to the Super Bowl, and then for whatever reason, he got pushed out and had some kind of albatross around his neck. For some reason, people didn't want to give him another chance. And what did you say his record was overall?
His overall record, I got it right here. In the NFL, talking about the NFL, right, was 49-22-1.
See?
Great record.
Why isn't this guy – my question is, I know he's quirky, but why hasn't he been offered sooner?
5-3 in the playoffs.
See? That's what I'm saying. I mean, why couldn't he's already won, so why wouldn't he win again? I mean, he can say more than Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was a loser in the NFL before he went back to Seattle, right? He basically crapped the bed everywhere he was at. And then he went to USC and went to Seattle. But Jim was already a success in the NFL before college or after. Well, actually, he went to Stanford after San Diego, right?
Yeah, he went to Stanford, which, by the way, he did a good job at.
Yeah. I forgot about that. He won at Stanford.
Yes.
And nobody's really been able to win there consistent since he left, to be honest with you.
David Shaw's done a great job, but he didn't reach the height Jim Harbaugh reached, in my opinion.
Sooner that kind of program is going to hit a snag and it's going to fall back to where it was. That's just like Vanderbilt. James Franklin won at Vanderbilt. He got out while he could. David Shaw had a window to get out a few times, and he didn't do it, and probably should have.
He got offered great jobs, by the way, and never took them. I don't know what the deal was. He just wanted to stay at Stanford, I guess. But I'll be honest with you. Jim Harbaugh knows what he's doing. That San Diego team is not a crappy team. They have Justin Herbert. They have players on that team that can win games. Like, look, I believe he'll be in the playoffs in the next 2-3 years easily. If not year one, possibly. So I believe he's that good of a coach in the NFL. And I personally think, if you remember way back years ago when we did a podcast on Jim Harbaugh, one thing I've always stood by is I thought he was a better NFL coach than a college coach. Always said that. So, what are you laughing at?
Christian Fam Channel says Venables
Oh,
won't. I guess he's saying won't. I don't know what that is. It says cute.
quit fooling with cold weather. He's basically not saying he's not going to a cold weather state.
Well, I mean, it don't hurt to ask him. You know, I think I'm gonna give him a call. I think I'm gonna give Michigan's administration a call because me and Jonathan have that kind of pull, and I'm gonna call him and I'm like, hey, y'all need to come check this guy named Brent Venables out. So he don't come to the SEC and kick our ass.
What do you think about? I got something for your listeners. I think because I brought this up on mine. Do you think Dabo Swinney would entertain the Michigan job? I don't care what anybody says. That's a better job than Clemson.
Hell yeah.
It's a blue blood program. Do you think Dabo Swinney would entertain going to Michigan and leaving Clemson?
If it wasn't the kind of, I don't know if it's the culture is the right word, but I don't know. It just his down home country boy persona. I don't know if it would fit up there.
I mean, we've seen people from the north come to the south and south to the north. We've seen it for years.
I mean, they tried that with Rich Rodriguez, and it didn't work out too well.
You saw Brian Kelly's great accent when he went to LSU.
Hey, that's natural, man. That's about as natural as Chiron crying over there on the sidelines, missing. I miss you, Jim. Please come back, Coach.
I can't watch that.
I don't want this job, psych. I want this job. So I'm going to go and rehearse this shit beforehand, man. Them some big-ass crocodile tears coming for Chiron.
Yeah.
What's not funny? I thought it'd be a compliment that your coach is being considered to go to the Michigan Wolverines. Y'all could always replace him with Jeff Levy. I mean, come on. Jeff Levy must be pretty good. I mean, Mississippi State wanted.
You really are going to start something. Freaking sciences, man. Ugh. It's been raining here. It's raining again, dude. It's nonstop here. It's like day 4 or 5.
We had flash floods here today.
Yeah, same. It's like nonstop here, man. And naturally, my freaking sinuses are going crazy. I'm about to take a Benadryl and go to bed after this.
To me, this shows right here. I mean, y'all probably can't see this, but Oklahoma offered Justice
Fitzpatrick.
He is a defensive back. It's a 5-star defensive back out of Santa Aquinas, Florida.
Yep.
The big thing with him is he is the brother of Minka Fitzpatrick, who everybody knows was just a stud at Alabama. Why Alabama hasn't offered him yet is beyond me. Alabama needs to get on that. He's a legacy. His brother went here, so we definitely need to be offering him. But the thing that impresses me is that Brent Venables pulls no punches on these guys. He don't care who they are or what they've been associated with. If he sees a guy he wants to go after, he's going after him, and he's not shying away from him.
Has he not? Are we sure he has not been offered by Alabama?
Well, it says in this article, I didn't pull it up all the way, but it says that Alabama hasn't offered him yet.
I want to see this. Hang on. 2025 is his class, right?
2026.
2026 is his class? Let's see.
It might be why Alabama hasn't offered him yet, but,
No,
still,
we've offered.
If it's Minka Fitzpatrick's brother and he's 5 stars, we should definitely be on that shit a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me see here. I need to look this up. Justice Fitzpatrick, yes, you were right. 2026, St. Thomas Aquinas, Fort Lauderdale, essentially. Very big school, by the way. He's been offered by now Oklahoma, Akron, Arkansas, Auburn, Colorado, and Duke. Yeah.
I know Akron's probably right in the mix for that, so we need to go ahead and
shut up.
Put the Zips down for their first 5-star in probably 100 years.
Yeah, he's a composite 5-star. He's the 3rd best corner in the nation.
That's just surprising to me that not more major teams had offered him, man. I mean, Duke, Akron.
Yeah,
really? What the hell's going on with that shit?
Yeah, that I can't give you that one, but
Dylan DeBoer better get on that, man. He done got fired before Mike Price.
Oh my God.
He might have even made the spring ball.
But he's gonna have to hit up the club for that, the strip club. Oh man.
Was you through looking at that? I took it down.
Yeah.
Oh, By the way, the guy I was mentioning earlier, Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, that I thought should be more of a candidate than Chiron because Michigan, to me, Michigan's defense has put them where they're at. But I was going to bring a picture up of him. And when I first saw him, I thought it was a joke. I thought someone had been messing with him. But it's actually a picture of him. And I was just going to see who you thought he looked like because the first thing that popped in my mind was a certain character. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Y'all tell me who this guy looks like. Let me get it real quick. Y'all see that?
Who's he look like? Sorry.
I thought it was someone had photoshopped this shit, man. And way
it does look slightly photoshopped. His beard looks weird.
But it's not, man. He's tiny, man. He looks like a troll of some sorts, man. To me, he looks like Frodo.
Yeah, I never watched Lord of the Rings and all that stuff.
he looked like one of them little short munchkins off damn Lord of the Rings.
Go to a different picture. Yeah, click on a different picture. Is he really that? He looks really tiny.
He is really tiny. Did you see
that's their defensive coordinator?
Huh?
That's their defense coordinator, right?
That's Michigan's defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Minter. Yeah.
Does he not look like Frodo?
Yeah. He only looks like a extremely skinny version of Greg McElroy with a beard.
Beard, man.
Like
that's a Ryan Day beard, man. That's one of them fake beards.
Ryan Day's beard does look fake. It's funny.
Ryan Day got somebody to get a magic marker and draw on his damn face. We'll start calling him Magic Marker. I'm gonna start calling him Magic Marker Day.
Thunder, you sooner got jokes. He said Michigan might as well go after Bama head coach. Oh man, you mentioned a buyout that would be.
What's that?
Thunder, you sooner said Michigan might as well go after Bama's head coach.
There's another one.
I mean,
look how small he is, man.
He's not on the field, so who cares?
Goddamn Fantasy Island out there coaching. There was that damn midget's name on Fantasy Island back in the day. That might have been before your time.
Yeah.
Le Plane.
Christian Fam Channel said we had rain for like 36 hours straight. It seemed like I got it now. Where are you at, man? Because it seems like it's been nonstop here. It's San Antonio. We had like a super hot and dry summer, and now we just
Killer Breeze is down there in Houston. They said they got some heavy rains in Houston.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Maybe Killer Breeze can give us a weather update for the southern part of Texas down there.
I bet he's having to cook his corn dogs for like 2 minutes longer than normal.
Hell yeah, he's living in an RV park.
All that humidity.
It's probably floating on water and shit.
Oh yeah, good points.
Goddamn Killer Breeze out there on the Titanic with Lori Brogdon.
He's got flotation devices under his wheels. He's just literally floating around.
He's like MacGyver, man. He's living out there like that.
Oh man!
You ever watch MacGyver?
I watched MacGyver. Jeez, a long time ago with my grandmother actually. Oh man!
So we had our Frodo moment, our comedy relief there at the expense of Jesse Minter. Although I think he should be the head coach over Chiron.
I think they should go after a bigger name, period. And it's not just about the name. I'm talking about experience and all that. I think they should take Ryan Day.
Who's that, Michigan?
Yeah, they should go after Ohio State's coach.
Then he wouldn't have to worry about beating Michigan anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
Lost to him 3 years in a row. Has Ryan Day ever beat Michigan? I mean, how long has he been at
Ohio? He's definitely beat Michigan.
How long has he been there? 5-6 years?
Yeah, he's beaten them a couple. He beat them like 2 or 3 times in a row. I think he's 3-3 against Michigan. Let me see here. Right.
Oh, Ohio stank.
Let me see. I'm almost positive he's 3-3 against them.
Yeah, he went up in here, Jay McCormick.
He's 56-8, by the way, at Ohio State.
Yeah, and they want to fire him.
56-8.
Ryan Day.
That's amazing.
The Chargers should have hired Ryan Day.
Damn, this dude has won everywhere.
Now that would be some shit. What if the Seattle Seahawks or somebody come in and went after Ryan Day.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Took both of them, man. Boy, the portal be open for real. Wonder what Caleb Downs would do then. Think his ass would transfer again?
Yeah.
Julian Saying be going back to California.
Take his,
We got portal. We got this portal rape, man. I mean, we just got raped this year.
Ryan Day has lost 3 conference games total, and all 3 are the past 3 years against Michigan. He has never lost to anybody in conference except Michigan. Think about that.
I heard something funny.
Crap.
I heard something funny. This is off the subject, but I heard something funny the other day from somebody, and they claim this is true. They told me I couldn't use their name, but they said that Oklahoma and Oklahoma State were going to try to renew the rivalry, but Oklahoma, since Oklahoma moved to the SEC, now they're in the big time, and Oklahoma State is a mid-carder. They're going to treat them as such, and they're going to ask for a 7-3 deal.
I don't know about all that.
They're going to do a 10-year series, and Oklahoma wants 7 home games to 3 road games.
Yeah, it depends on the state Oklahoma State's in.
Oklahoma State going to have to take it. They're going to be like Southern Miss. Alabama's played Southern Miss over 40 times, and we've never given them a home game.
Nope.
They come up here every single time.
I remember, what's his name? The famous catch against Southern Miss, Tyrone Prothro, man, where he broke his freaking leg against Florida.
Yeah. That was lovely. That was bad.
That was
Joe Theismann shit right there.
That was.
If you're too old, too young to remember that, go back and Google Joe Theismann getting laid on by, I think it was Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that was. Well, it's hard to watch. Both of them, but Prothro, I remember when he landed on his leg in that Florida game, you could see it clear as day.
Robert Wagner thinks Pete Carroll should come to Michigan.
Pete Carroll's not going to Michigan.
And I saw an article today about
Holy
Bill Belichick, and it's like, why isn't anybody interested in hiring Bill Belichick? I'm like, it's pretty obvious why. He's 72 years old.
He's old.
Like, you're not going to get any mileage out of him, man. He's probably done in 2 years. He might have had 2 more years tops of coaching left in.
Yep.
I mean, maybe even not that much.
Like, he needs to go somewhere where they're ready to win immediately, like now. Get 2 years out of him, win maybe 1 Super Bowl out of 2 at most, you know what I mean? And then just drop him.
Y'all mind jump out of the chat and smash the like button. It'll push the algorithm and get more people in here for us. Also, there's a little donation button at the bottom of the screen. It's got a circle around and a little $sign. Click on that, write your comment out, then hit send. And it'll push your comment to the top and highlight it for me and Jonathan so we can read it out above all the others.
So I'm going through all of these lists. Not that it matters, because these lists basically mean nothing. But Brian Kelly is ending up on every one of these lists. He's not number 1 in any.
If I'm Brian Kelly, and I believe me, I want him to leave. Because I don't like him. I like LSU. I want to see LSU do good outside Alabama. Most Alabama fans aren't like that, but I actually like LSU. And I think that Brian Kelly is a fake, man, and he's going to get undid in a few years, in my opinion. And he may get a saving grace by all these new coaches coming in. It may save him for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, to me, there's just something shady about it. You not get that vibe?
Yeah, no, I do.
You think Brian Kelly ever goes pro? Because he looks like a pro coach.
No, he won't go. I'm sorry, but Brian Kelly does not. Kelly does not look like a pro coach. I mean, he does look like it, but no.
Next year, if they get rid of him, I know they kept this guy for another year, but this will make that Christian Fam channel happy. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Brian Kelly to the Cowboys next year.
Oh my God.
Brian Kelly to the Cowboys.
I don't think that would ever happen. Another name that keeps popping up on all these lists is Chris Kleiman from Kansas State.
You know I like Chris Kleiman. You doing that on purpose.
No, I'm serious. Lance Leopold showed up on a couple.
I love Chris Kleiman. I'm a big Chris Kleiman fan.
The one I'm really surprised that hasn't garnered much attention in all honesty, is Luke Fickell. He's in Wisconsin.
Luke Fickell would be a great hire. Wisconsin surprisingly has a large fan base. I never realized it,
Huge.
but they got a huge fan base. If they could ever get their shit together and win a national title, it would probably explode. Wouldn't be a good thing for Ohio State or Wisconsin, though.
Jeff Bates said Proto's injury was non-contact. No, it wasn't non. Yeah, I mean it was non-contact. He jumped up to catch the ball and came down on his leg wrong, but his knee locked.
How can your leg just break just coming down like that? But
I mean, angle. How much force do you come down on your leg with, man? I remember watching that. Do you guys remember the Louisville basketball player? Oh, you saw his bone come out of his leg. Holy crap.
Lloyd Brogdon said, you can play at Okie State and win 10 out of 10. Really? Because they didn't know the last time they were there.
As far as I know of, doesn't Okie State hold the Bedlam Trophy?
Wrong answer. Tell her what she's lost, Johnny. I ain't trying to mess with y'all nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
I am trying to mess with you a little bit, but that what's that trophy called that they got for that game? It's the Bedlam Trophy.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State will have the Bedlam Trophy to infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear. So, unless y'all are planning on playing them again, that Bedlam Trophy ain't ever coming back.
That's got to be gruesome. Because didn't Texas wins the conference, right?
Alabama was playing Auburn tonight, and they had to give us the Iron Bowl trophy tonight at the basketball game.
They did.
So roll tide to that.
I'm sure. Was it at all? Or no, it's in Tuscaloosa, right?
Yeah, Tuscaloosa. The losing team has to give the trophy or presentation at the next home basketball game for the winner. And Alabama, of course, is the winner. By the way, a lot of people might not know this, but Alabama hadn't beat Auburn 4 years in a row since Bear Bryant, I think, or Ray Perkins. Ray Perkins might have got them 4 years in a row, but it's been a long time. The last time Alabama beat them 4 years in a row was back in the early to mid 80s. So that's a big thing that Alabama beat them that fourth year in a row. That means a recruiting class at Auburn went a full cycle without beating Alabama. My bad.
Click off my comments. I love that. Stillwater can keep the trophy to Humphreys. So we never see them again. The hell with that. I don't want to play them and get the trophy back.
Yeah, I want that trophy back, man. I think that me and Jonathan, when we come up there, we're going to do a recognizance mission on that shit. We're going to steal that son of a bitch.
91, 19, and 7. Then that's the point of why you should own the trophy. 91.
That's not correct. It's not correct. It's 91-20 now.
Oh, yeah, 91, 20, and 7. Either way, if you tell me you're 91-20 against somebody, I'm assuming you won the last one, and they didn't. So I really would want that trophy back.
Oklahoma basically has told them that if they ever want to play them again, they're going to have to play them like a mid-carder that they are. So Okeechobee State's going to have to give up 7 road games to Norman for 3 home games at Stillwater.
Stillwater, I love that. I never heard that before. Oh, let's see.
Jeff said you're mistaking Oklahoma for Oregon. Not sure what that's all about, but this is 1989M. He's our resident Michigan man. He says, guys, so sorry I'm late. I just got off from work. Harbaugh is a skittle shitter.
Mention that. Did you tell him about the story you got?
What's that?
The story you have now that I made for you.
What story?
Store.
Oh, yeah, I've been mentioning the store.
Oh, I was about to say, what?
Let the games begin. Shout out to you guys and everyone. Roll Tide, Boomer Center, go Blue. Yeah, we was just talking about, you'll have to rewind the show, man. I was talking a lot about it early on. I was by myself for a little while, but I was really hammering on the whole Michigan thing and where they were going to go. And a lot of people asking whether they thought Harbaugh would be a success in the NFL and that kind of deal. And I do think he will be a success in the NFL.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the Chargers is an excellent job to take. But he is a school shitter again. You're right. And as Jonathan said, we set up a store. Basically, actually, Jonathan set the store up. I didn't do shit. But Jonathan set up the store because I'm a spastic when it comes to stuff like that. And we got a couple of things up. I sent Jonathan some more images that I'd made with some skulls and stuff on that we're going to try to get up too. We're going to go in and tweak the prices too because the prices are a little high to me.
Yeah, I don't know why it sets them like that because it set them a little high.
So we got this "Don't Be a Skittle Shitter" shirt, and they even got some necklaces in there for that shit. They got Outlaw of College Football logo shirts as well as the one that Jonathan made up about "We Bleed Crimson." Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Jonathan?
we was it? Oh my gosh, let me go look at it. Actually, I can show it real quick.
Something about bleeding crimson.
Bleeding crimson since birth.
Bleeding crimson since birth.
There we go. Jesus.
It's like someone has been on their rag their entire life or something.
Basically like JPC. Let's see here.
1989M. As I said before, he's a Michigan guy. He says, guys, can I say this? It does not bother me if UM goes 8-4. I would just like to start over, boys. Start fresh.
What? I mean,
they wanted Harbaugh gone because they felt like he embarrassed the university with some of his antics there towards the end.
I guess. I don't know. That doesn't...
He hasn't really been found guilty yet, technically, you know. I mean, O.J. Simpson ain't been found guilty either, but.
Hey, you're right on that one. Let's see here.
All right. Michigan's going to have to beat USC. That's true. I guess. I don't know if they play each other next year in the regular season. They may not have scheduled them. But they may end up crossing paths if Lincoln Riley ever gets his self together. Now that he's got rid of that diva, maybe, what's his name, Miller Moss?
Yeah.
Maybe that has been the problem the whole time for Lincoln Riley, that he's just been trying to cater to a spoiled brat the whole time. And maybe he'll start turning things around. I don't think he will, but maybe. I hope he don't, because I don't really like him that much.
Oh.
So I got some more stuff up here real quick before we get out of here.
Yeah, I got work tomorrow. Tomorrow's my Friday, even though it's Thursday. Then I got Friday, Saturday off.
Actually, I already showed that one, so that was the Oklahoma stuff I was going to talk to you about. I already touched on that, though. So I guess that's all I got tonight, brother. You got anything else?
No, not really. No, actually. Ryan Williams recommitted to Alabama. Obviously, Julian Say and those guys. Yeah, Caleb Downs go to Ohio State. Okay, how about this? Caleb Downs, Georgia fans deciding to put Caleb Downs everywhere going to Georgia was a lock, 100%. Making jerseys that say Downs on them, and then goes Ohio State.
They got the Downs all right, but I ain't going to touch that.
Bro, they were just so hell-bent on that kid can go nowhere.
Caleb Downs did that, I think, deliberately because he didn't want to come here in Game 4. You think he wanted to come into that circus next year?
Bro.
It's going to be a circus here in Tuscaloosa if Caleb Downs had went to Georgia. It's
going to be a circus anyways. Let's be real. There are players that went to Georgia from Alabama. Oh. But it's going to be a circus anyways. I mean, that's our first SEC game of the season.
It's Kalen DeBoer's first game as a head coach in the SEC.
Against Georgia.
I mean, they didn't do him no favors, did they?
And at the same time, if you're Georgia and you lose that first game, Oh, it's going to be over. DeBoer's your daddy all over the place.
Poor old Georgia hedge pissers. No hedge pissers thought they had it.
That's pressure. That's pressure if you lose that game. I'm telling you right now, you have to win that game if you're Georgia. You absolutely have to win that game. You don't have a choice. You would rather lose to South Florida than you would Alabama at that point.
Wonder how Auntie Louise is taking it. Well, I know y'all know him as Uncle Lou, but really his name is Auntie Louise because I think he transitioned. So y'all make sure y'all call him Auntie Louise next time you're on his little show there.
Oh my gosh!
Tell me anytime he wants to go head to head, let me know. I'll have him on here, but I ain't come on this show because he'll mute me and block me and shit.
I don't really watch his stuff, so I'm about to tell you. I don't watch many podcasts at all. So, Jay McCormack, you guys have a good night. Try to send you a super chat. I had a problem. Trying to catch you next time. Have a good night.
Yeah, all you gotta do is click on this little money dollar sign. It's got a circle around it at the bottom. You click on that, then write your comment out, then hit send.
Oh yeah, I saw where Ugga. I don't know which one they're on. I'm not making fun of them. I know they name them all Ugga, right?
Yeah, it was 4-10.
It was 10.
Mm-hmm.
Those dogs, not to be fair, those dogs don't live long, do they?
Oh, no, I mean, 10 dogs over 100 years. I mean, what is that? An average of 10?
Well, I mean
10 years for a dog.
But to be fair, like, have they always had a dog there? Have they always, or no?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they hadn't. They probably didn't start it probably the 1920s or 30s or some shit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have nothing else, man. It's time for me to lay down.
All right, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody in the comments and all that good stuff. I'll catch you guys around. Make sure to check out College Football, Jonathan Lewis, and all that good stuff. So,
yeah.
Have a good night.
Jonathan put a podcast up today about the Michigan coaching situation, so y'all check it out. And that was the artist formerly known as College Football Jonathan Lewis, now known as College Football Jonathan Lewis again. He's looking for some name ideas. He's thinking about changing the name of his channel, so y'all hit him up and give him some ideas for a name change. He's got a girlfriend now named Stephanie. She keeps him pretty much in line, so I thought maybe he could be College Football with Stephanie or College Football with Whooped Lewis. What do y'all think? Thunder OU says that on Twitter, the Texas Longhorn fans are making fun of the Georgia Bulldog dying. Well, I don't know why they would do that, considering, their Longhorn dies periodically as well, right? What am I ass for, man? Look at that. Look what he doing. You see that? He cussing me out, man. I'm trying to help the man out. I'm trying to get you a new name, man, so you ain't being so vanilla on us. What do you want? Y'all give me some ideas, some serious ideas for College Football with Jonathan Lewis. Give him a new name, man. Come on, y'all tell me something. Tell me something for it. Y'all preach it to me. Y'all preach me some college football gospel tonight. I want to hear it. What hath thou gotteth for Jonathan Lewis? What is thy name going to be? In the Bible, Saul changed his name to Paul. So if Saul can do that, Jonathan Lewis can change his damn name, right? Come on now. There you go. College football with neckbeard. That's great. I like that. Fear the beard, right? I mean, that'd be a great shirt, man. You could do a little silhouette of his face and have a little half moon down here and just say Fear the Beard, Neckbeard Sports with Jonathan Lewis. Have no fear, the LSU Coonass is here. That's Big Cojones Kelly, also known as Ryan Thibodeau. He's in the house. We've been talking a little college football as usual and talking about the coaching carousel that keeps going round and round. A little Oklahoma football news that continues. Oklahoma continues to percolate in the recruiting rankings. Brent Venables has continued to impress. after coming into a gutted team and having a 6-7 year, and yet he continues to recruit at a high rate and continue to move up in the polls in recruiting. I had a top 5 class last year and had numerous, has been in the top 10 every single year he's been here. We talked about that as well. Acknowledge the OCF, the tribal chief, says 1989 M. That's right. We're going to have to do us a wrestling show. You know, me and Kuz talked about that. We talked about we might start a wrestling channel if y'all interested in that. I don't know how many of y'all like wrestling. Yes, before I get the obvious in here, before I get Captain Obvious in here, yes, I know wrestling's fake. Okay? We watch it for entertainment. It's like a male soap opera in a way. We also know that Tom Cruise didn't win the Daytona 500 in Days of Thunder, right? We also know Rocky didn't win the world title 3 or 4 different times and beat Mr. T, Clubber Lang, and Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, because we all know in real life, Apollo Creed would never lose to Sylvester Stallone. So, yeah, it's fake, but we know it's fake, just like you know Rocky's fake. So, let us enjoy our wrestling. Lloyd Brogdon says, Thunder, I think Georgia's going to kill Texas bad. I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be a hard one to call. Does Georgia play Texas next year? I think they do. Where's that game at? Is it in Athens? If it's in Athens, you're probably right. Georgia's probably going to whoop their ass. But we get Georgia here in Tuscaloosa for the 4th game of the year, which is technically week 5 because we have an off week before Georgia. We played Wisconsin before that. So luckily we got an off week between Wisconsin and Georgia because that's going to be a hell of a trip to Madison, Wisconsin. Camp Randall is a pretty hard place to play. So who do y'all think is going to be the next head coach at Michigan? And if Brian Kelly were to go to Michigan, like we talked about earlier, who would LSU go after at that point? As the coaching carousel continues to go round and round, that would be big time because then LSU's team would be open to the portal raping that we took. So we could give it back to y'all. After y'all he-hauled it up at our expense, we could give it back to Michigan LSU. Michigan, of course, is going to have their players enter the portal now that Jim Harbaugh is leaving. But if Brian Kelly were to go to Michigan, then you would have the portal open for Michigan and LSU, as well as Washington and Arizona still, and Alabama. How much is a Skittle shitter shirt? Well, go to my store, and there's numerous prices in there. There's a V-shaped shirt in there. I think it's the cheapest thing we got right now. It's $21.99. But we're going to try to lower the prices on that stuff eventually, hopefully. Big Cojones Kelly comes up with a good name for college football with Jonathan Lewis. It could be Slippy Fingers Football Talk with Captain Neckbeard. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having that one for Jonathan, not for me. I don't have a neck beard. I grow my beard like a real man, as you can tell. I'm just going to have to color it. I colored it a while back. I'm going to have to color it again so I can look young again, right? John Ritchie says LSU should go after Tebow. What do you think about that, Big Cojones Kelly? Think LSU should go after Lincoln Riley? I mean, they wanted him before. All right, guys and gals, it's been fun jumping in here with y'all for the last hour or so. I guess I'm going to get up out of here unless y'all got some more questions for me. 1989M says, Outlaw, I say they're going to have Chiron coach the team till he shits the bed real bad, and he probably will, then go after a big name in 25-26 season. What say you? I could see that because Jim sort of put him in a bad situation, as I said earlier, the timing of it. It would have been nice if Jim had made his mind up about a week after the title game, and then y'all could have went out and got a big-name coach like Alabama did with Kalen DeBoer. I just don't know if this job's too big for Chiron or Jesse Minter, for that matter. But Jesse Minter, to me, would deserve more of a look because Michigan's defense, as I said earlier, just Michigan's defense to me put y'all in the national championship level that it is now, more so than the offense. So I think Jesse Minter should be considered just as highly as Chiron, more, if not more. What do you say? 1989 and I think you're probably right. It's probably going to be like a long interim coach kind of deal. Not going to really be an interim coach, literally, but sort of would be. I think they'll give Chiron about 2 or 3 years to succeed. And then after the third season, unless he really, really, really just screws it up, I think they'll give Chiron about 3 years. Rod Guy 1218's in the house. Welcome in, Rod Guy. He has his badge. He's deputized. If you want to get your badge and get deputized like him and Big Cojones Kelly, among others that's in here, Jeff Payton. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. There's a little join button. There's a subscribe button. Subscribing is free, by the way. So don't be scared to subscribe. A lot of people think you got to pay something. But there's a join button next to the subscribe button. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. You'll get your badge. You'll get deputized. You'll get the random Four Horsemen shout out on the podcast as well as possibly the comment of the day. And as I said earlier, we also have a store now. Lori was asking about that. We got a store. It's got Don't Be a Skittle Shitter shirts as well as some college football. Bleeding Crimson Since Birth. I think that's what he said. As well as college football logo shirts. 1989M, who's a Michigan guy, by the way. I know I've said that before. Says he agrees 100%. The defense is the reason they got to the end. They're out of time, though, right now to take a deep dive into a big-name coach. Much respect, bro. Appreciate you being in here once again, brother. Coaching carousel keeps going round and round. The one thing that could really upset this whole thing and continue this carousel would be if Brian Kelly or some other head coach went to Michigan. But if Michigan hires Chiron or Jesse Minter, it'll stop the bleeding for the coach carousel, I think, for the year. And I think that's what will happen. What do y'all think? Probably get out of here. Anybody else know of any other coaching carousels that might spin out of control that I ain't heard about? What about the NFL jobs? You know, you still got a bunch of NFL jobs out there, so somebody could still get their shit took, just like Michigan did. Thunder OU Center says Michigan needs to grab Pee Wee Herman from the Shorthorns. That's a nickname that I came up with, and Thunder OU is pushing it really hard. We call Steve Sarkisian Pee Wee Herman because his hair, if you ever notice, his hair is sort of pushed up. Sort of looks like a cross between Pee Wee Herman and Alfalfa and the Little Rascals, I think. But we'll go with Pee Wee Herman, right? Something. Does Steve Sarkisian look more like Pee Wee Herman or Alfalfa? And with that jab, I guess I'm going to get up out of here. As I said before, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to start doing more podcasts because some people tell me that they're not a big fan of the live streams all the time. Going to make a donation to the channel real quick. There's a little money $ circle down there. You can make a comment real quick, and I'll read it out for y'all before I get off of here. And you can also donate on the channel as well. There'll be a little hard option that you can donate to the channel as well on there. Seems like everybody thinks Pee Wee Herman. Doubt Lanning is leaving for the Michigan job. I doubt it too. Says Rye Guy 1218. So, with that, I'm out of here. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. As I said before, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.